Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. So today I want to be talking about my new D-Day build I have here, my Omaha beach build. So this is one of the 5 beaches on D-Day, and this is an American sector of it. Omaha belongs to the Americans, essentially, in terms of landing there. And this was the bloodiest beach of the 5, so that's why I wanted to do this one first, and then I can kind of go down the list and do Sword, Gold, Juneau, Utah, or Juneau, not Juneau, sorry, but you know, just the other 4 essentially. I'd love to do them at some point, not yet though, because I have other builds I want to do. My camera moving around? It is. I just noticed that. It's odd. But I just want to give a little overview, not a, like, I wanted to give a pretty good angle of the build while I give a little bit of a background on this. Just because I want to do a little bit of a background, nothing for too long, and then I'm going to jump straight into the build, go over little things like this Higgins boat here that I made, which is more just a basic one. It's nothing crazy, and that wood hedgehog tank trap over there, stuff like that. Just random stuff like that, realistically. Just little details that I threw in. I want to go over those and the history behind it, because that's what I want to do with this. But I want to just go over this a lot right now. Just the, not for too long, not like what I did in my Operation Barbarossa one. More just a little, just start of the battle, what happened. And, you know, maybe towards the end I'll talk about what happened by the end of the day or late afternoon, stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to start off with the start of the day. So the U.S. 1st and 29th Infantry Divisions were tasked with securing a beachhead 6 miles, which is 10 kilometers long, at Omaha Beach, then linking up with other allies landing at Utah Beach to the west and Gold Beach to the east. The assault started at 6:35 a.m. with a first wave of troops from the U.S. 1st Infantry Division, but the operation did not go according to plan because of the fact the Allied bombers providing air cover missed their targets and the naval gunfire was poorly directed, which is why up here you can see there's not a lot of damage that I wanted to do. I wanted to put more damage on the beach than up here because realistically naval gunfire was poorly directed. So you can see that I added that there. So that's a cool little fact there for y'all. But as soon as the landing craft hit the beach, the Germans defending the cliffs rained shell, mortar, and machine gun fire on the U.S. troops as they tried to disembark. And most of the amphibious tanks were swamped and sank in the heavy water and all that stuff. Heavy swell, realistically, is what you'd say. As did the supporting artillery that was following them. Within minutes of the initial landing, 1/3 of the assault troops had become casualties, and Lieutenant General Omar Bradley had to make a snap decision on whether to continue the landings or pull out and switch reinforcements to Utah Beach, which was the other American landing zone, which was, if memory serves me correct, right next to them. So, but he chose to continue, and so it would continue for hours and hours, being known as the longest day. I mean, essentially that was kind of the way it was for all the beaches, but in general, it was known as the longest day. So, but by late afternoon, how much is that? 34,000 U.S. troops had landed at Omaha Beach and secured the beachhead. And they had tanks and other vehicles moving off the beach as well. So realistically, what I wanted to depict here was just the kind of early few first landings, early in the morning, like 6, 7 in the morning, essentially. And sorry if I'm a little harder at trying to talk. It's just a little hot in my room. So sorry about that one. It's just a bit hot right now, so it's kind of hard for me to breathe, especially since my room's a little dusty. I tried cleaning it, but I need to clean it again, I guess. So Sorry about that. But yeah, that's really all I want to talk about with the battle, and I will jump right into it now and talk about all the little details. So the way I'm going to do this build is I'm going to go straight from the bottom of the beach, go along it, all the way to the cliff, and then I'm going to go up towards the Germans. So we're going to start down here with this little Higgins boat I made. Nothing fancy, just a little, Higgins boat that I made to just kind of have half of it there, just so that it's like at least having a Higgins boat on the build. You can see I got 3 dead soldiers in it. They all got M1 Garands, which are two-tone, and they look really nice. And you can see these little like ice cream pieces. I made those, well, I have those to depict like bullets and all that stuff, or explosions, like right there. Like bullets hitting metal, the sand, stuff like that. I realistically would have loved to use these like clear 1x1 round studs, but I don't have any more besides what's there, and I didn't want to just take all the water out and redo that. No, I just wanted to do this just because personally it's simple enough, still looks pretty good if you imagine it like that. So you can see 3 dead soldiers. These 2 have blood on their back. That one does not. That's another dead soldier there. He has a M1 carbine, which is not two-tone. That is one-tone. So you can see that. He's got blood all around him in the water. And you can see this guy here has an M1 Garand. He also has a little bit of blood around him in the water with an M1 Garand two-tone, like I said. You can see I did some more bullets there, hitting the sand and all that. You can see kind of the transition I did here between the wet sand and the like light sand and all that. It's a very okay way that I did it. I like the pattern. I just wish I could have done right here along the beach better if I had like tan wedge plates, but I do not, so that's why it kind of looks awkward. I just don't like right there where you got like a big like spot where it looks like there's just absolutely like it's just squared off, and then right there you have a little bit of the pattern where it looks nice. I don't know how to feel about it. It's not bad though. I really liked it either way. I just feel like I could have done better with that. Same with the cliff there, how it's just a big pattern, essentially. Those were 2 of my gripes. Same with not doing a path, but I feel like not doing a path was actually a good choice considering how much that might have cost me. And I would have had to redesign that whole thing there to do that. So I feel like that was fine. You can see here I got another one of these, forget what this obstacle is called, but you have 3 mines on it, essentially. And you can see I got 2 soldiers taking cover behind it. The mines here obviously are active and can blow up. Pretty sure these were actually for landing craft to hit whenever they come towards the beach. I probably got this wrong, like in terms of where it's at on the beach. I think it's supposed to be more up there. Because I think when they were coming onto the beach early in the morning, it was low tide, but I don't know. I can't really remember on that one, if it was low tide or high tide. It's one thing I forgot, but you can see it's just a team, 2 men with, he has a rocket launcher and his personal M1 Garand is on the ground. And this guy has his M1 Garand in hand with a rocket for after this guy shoots, because he has a loaded rocket, and he is aiming up there at the bunker, as you can see. So he's going to try to take it out with that. So now that we showed that, move over here and then move over there, essentially. So you can see here I got these 2 guys with M1 Garands. They're aiming at the bunker up there. If I can get a decent little angle like that, you can see. And you can see here earlier in the video I did a shot kind of like that, essentially. You can kind of figure that one out. Sorry if the alarm and all that stuff, if you can hear that going off, and if there is people mowing, that is something happening right now, so just excuse that. But you can see here I got this guy here reloading his M1 Garand. Get an angle like that on it. You can see he's sitting there reloading his M1 Garand behind cover, Which, funny story about that, I actually, first batch of pictures I did, the trap was like right here, and he was reloading in the open, which was not supposed to happen because I didn't put it back. So I realized that after I took the pictures and took new ones and put everything back where it was supposed to, because I didn't notice that. Because I had to move this so that I could do the explosion for this guy, because I wanted to add something cool so that it doesn't just look bland and just guys taking cover and all that. I wanted some more casualties, considering 1/3 of the landing force were casualties. So I was like, this is roughly 1/3 to me. I mean, I don't know. You got like 3 dead. It's 5. 5 dead there. 6th is not dead, but he's still a casualty. 7 dead. And you think there's 20, that's 7 dead or wounded out of 20 Americans on this build, essentially. Because it should be 20. I think I put all 20 on this build. You can count if you'd like. I'll do this for a minute if you like to count and all that. But yeah, I'm going to move back. This guy, like I said, he's being exploded by a mortar, which I do not have a mortar on this build, but essentially that's what's happening. I would show you his face, but I'm going to be honest, I don't have any heads to change around their facial expression. I wish I did, but I don't. This guy here, he's also aiming up there at the bunker, or the machine gunner, which he's aiming up there towards that machine gunner. You can see the angle he has right there. We're going to move on to this guy in the crater, go down this way, and then we can move on to the guys in the cliff. So this guy in the crater, he's dead. You can see he's got blood on his back, and he's got his M1 Garand by his side. You can see all the dead guys are face down. I did that because, like I said, I don't have facial expressions or anything for any of my guys to look like they're dead or scared or anything like that. So that's why I did that, just to make it look like they're dead and just face down. So I was like, that's just an easy way of doing it to me. Oh, and you can see with the exploded guy, you can see his M1 Garand's on the ground in front of him, essentially. But here, you can see this guy is shooting up at this guy there with the Kar 98, this German. You can see that. You can hear him mowing now. Hopefully it's not too loud. But you can see there I did another tank trap. This one is made of wood. They actually, in some cases, a very rare case, made them of wood. Now, I don't know if wood ones were present at Omaha or any of the 5 beaches, but I was like, hey, you know, they were made of wood, so why not throw it in there just for a little fun, you know? Because I'm not going for 100% accuracy or anything. I'm just going for a little bit of fun details, you know, that I can throw in a few little details, like that's made of wood, whereas usually they're made of metal like this one. So that's a cool little fact for you. You can see I got these 5 guys here on the edge of the beach. Not on the edge of the beach. The cliff. Basically, they're at the bottom of the cliff just sitting here and waiting for everyone else to reach them so that they can have reinforcements, and basically they can go up there and shoot the Germans or whatever. They're just kind of waiting since they made it there. Now, this is not the most accurate D-Day build. And I will say that because one thing about D-Day, sure, there is a big cliff, but if memory serves me correct, there would have been wire in between this and the cliff, and there would have been a path they went up. So that is one thing I did not do. But like I said, maybe one day I'll do D-Day, and specifically Omaha, bigger. But right now, this is my D-Day Omaha build 2025. So maybe one day I'll come back, make it look better, use the same soldiers, you know, stuff like that. But for now, this is just what it is. Realistically, I kind of just threw this together just to say, hey, I made D-Day, I made Omaha. Just because I was like, it would be cool to do that, because I actually have been wanting to do that for a while. So you can see here, this German, this machine gunner, has an MG42, which is 2-tone. I really like these. I bought like 5 of these off of AliExpress. I think they were like $4 or $5 for 5 of them. I can't remember. But they were pretty good. I like them a lot. The little orange pieces there, they stick perfectly on the gun. And you can see he's taking cover behind barbed wire and some logs and stuff in an open position. Probably not the most accurate to D-Day, but like, I'm gonna be honest, I just wanted it to look like a little position they threw together in like a few days or something. Just something random. And I've already shown this guy a little bit. You can see he's got a Car 98 there. And he's taking cover behind a little bit of logs that realistically don't really cover much, but you know, I mean, it helps. So, you can see here I got this big old bunker that's like, I think 16 by 16. I don't know exactly. Maybe it's not 16 by 16, but it's something along those lines. It's a fairly big bunker, so. Before I get into that, actually, let me show you the cliff. Because like I said, it's a pattern. All I did was just use a pattern of like slopes and stuff. I use inverted and normal slopes that go up by 3 bricks, as you can see here. 1 brick, 2 brick, 3 brick. So, it's definitely not as random as I'd like it to be, but I think for a basic little cliff, if you're wanting to not go too expensive, it's a good idea. So that's really up to you to decide. But yeah, so I've already went over these 2 guys. Let me open up the bunker. Let me show you the back first. You can see I got the door there and a little start of the pathway that would go from the bunker. You can see if I take this off, how I did this. Literally the top half of the opening there is attached to the roof, and I just did a bunch of rainbow pieces to hold the roof together. It literally is just a lot of rainbow pieces. You can see they both got the same MG42 as the guy right there. Basically same concept. And yeah, pretty much it's just, that's all there is. I wish I would have put a little more detail in the bunker, like a little crate with stick grenades or something, but I was like, I mean, would they really have had stick grenades in there? I mean, maybe they would have, but I don't know. That's just me. I just wanted to make it something basic, nothing too crazy. Just, you know, not a lot of cliff, but more beach, since I wanted to put a ton of Americans against a few Germans, realistically, because, you know, I just felt like that was the best way to depict it, rather than not so many Americans, like 10 of them on a big beach like this. It makes it look more occupied and all that. So yeah, that's basically the build. Let me give you a little overview right there, so if you want to pause, you can look at it. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole build. And you can see on the water as well, I used a ton of these round, like 1x1 studs and stuff. So I used a lot of those. Sorry that it won't focus. My phone's being weird. I'm trying to get it to focus. I don't know. It doesn't want to focus for some reason. It like unfocuses and focuses. But I believe that's every inch of the build. I think I've literally talked about what every guy on this build is doing. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Hopefully my next build will be done within a few months. I'm not sure if it will be, but we'll see. Because I don't know how much my next build's going to cost yet. That one's going to be the Battle of Kursk. So that one's going to be a fairly big build, like 48 by 96 studs. So it's going to be a fairly big build. Not sure how I'm going to go about it yet. But I'm definitely going to do some pretty good looking craters. Not like these where they look really square and all that. So I'm definitely going to try to do better on that. And use a lot more of these, I'm going to try to use a lot of these wedge plates you can see. Sorry, I was waiting on the mower to pass. But I'm going to use a lot of the wedge plates and the 1x1 and like 1x2, stuff like that. I might do some different looking craters in some areas based on if it's a mortar crater, naval-warfare crater, artillery crater, stuff like that. Try to give each crater some depth, different stuff like that. And yeah, that's the end of this video right now. I hope you all liked it. I hope the history on it was great for y'all. Like I said, it's just about Omaha. There's more beaches than that, but maybe one day I'll come back and do some of the more, some of the other beaches. Because my next one, if I do another one of these beaches of the 5, I want to go back and do Utah. Because that's an American beach. It'll be easy for me to do since I already have them both. So I don't see why I shouldn't do Utah next with this series. But yeah, this is my D-Day series. And this is my D-Day build, and I hope you all liked it. This might get taken apart today, or it might get taken apart tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day and a great night whenever you're watching this.